Hello, traders. It's Melissa. I wanted to share with you the names that I am watching going into this week, September 8th, 2025. Overall, looking at my ES futures chart, you can see that the trend is bullish across multiple time frames. Therefore, my focus coming into this new week is to buy the dip. Now, I like to focus on the stronger sectors or areas of the market when looking for dip buy opportunities. And using koifin.com, I have written down the sectors I want to focus on, which is gold and gold miners, the home construction sector, metals and mining, some names in the airlines sector, as well as a couple of other names that I will share with you at the end of this video that I would be looking for buy the dip opportunities. So let's get started here first with GLD. Now, gold has been on a run, the gold futures, the GLD ETF, which is how I trade gold, uh, all on a run, making new all-time highs. It's just very, very strong right now, which means I'm looking for a buy the dip opportunity this week. So on my chart here, the first gray box represents the bullish channel using Fibonacci's of the recent up move. I'm looking to buy a dip somewhere around 325.5 to 321.31. That's going to give me a risk of about $6, and my reward would be the all-time high. That is the first target, which would be about $6 as well. That's a 1-for-1 risk to reward. Above there, these are Fibonacci extension targets, and I'm targeting 335 and then 339 to 340. So for that first target, it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward, but after that, my risk to reward improves greatly if we go on to make new all-time highs in gold this week. When I have a zone on my chart that I'm interested in buying the dip, I'm waiting for confirmation of higher lows on lower time frames before entering a trade. In the event that this first gray zone or the bull channel here is broken and I do not get a buy the dip opportunity, then the next zone I am waiting on is, I'm going to round up 319 to 315, about a $4 risk there. In that case, if price does pull all the way back down here for gold this week, then I will run Fibonacci's of the down move and target the 38.2 and the 618 before price comes back up to the current all-time high, which would be my next target. So that is my trade plan for gold. Buy the dip opportunity somewhere around 325.5 by 321.31. Now, up next is GDX, or the gold miner sector. You can break this down into individual names. I prefer just to trade the sector itself. And my buy zone for GDX this week is 61.21 to 58.38. As far as targets go, I'm looking to target right up here around $66 to $67, and then above there would be Fibonacci extension targets, and those would be my next target right around the $70 mark. So, given an opportunity to buy the dip in this buy zone, I have a lot of things going on in here that makes this a good zone to buy for me, including the daily 21. I have some trendy edges, and inside and up candlestick structure. So that is what I'm watching for to potentially buy the dip on GDX or the gold miners sector. Up next, I want to look at some home construction names, starting with DR Horton. Home construction names have been doing really well, anticipating the interest rate cuts. The home construction will benefit from those rate cuts. And so I am looking for a buy the dip opportunity on DR Horton right here around 170 to 161. As far as targets go, I'm targeting 184, 192, and then 199 to 200 on DR Horton. I've got a risk here of about $9, and my reward would be anywhere from 12 to $15. So I like the risk to reward at first target there on DR Horton. Up next in the same name or same sector rather would be Pulte Homes, PHM. I have a buy zone on Pulte here at 131.61 to 124.93. As far as targets go, I would be targeting 140.60, then 143.89, and finally 149.47. So buying the dip in the green zone, and these three levels are my targets to the upside for Pulte. Last but not least in home construction sector is Masco, MAS. I am looking for a pullback opportunity here around 72.90 by 71.33. I would be targeting 75 to 75 and a half, and then 77.42, 80 and a half, and $84 for target on Masco. Then I want to take a look at the metals and mining sector, which has also been showing relative strength across the markets. And up first, I'm going to share with you a buy the dip opportunity on MP. MP has been down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. It is coming into a double stack of trendy edges as well as a trendy buy zone right here around 61 and a half to 52.89. This is my buy zone on MP. As far as targets go, 68.47, 73.94, 79.81, and the high here at 82.50 on MP Materials. Up next is UEC. This is a play on uranium, which has been relatively outperforming. It is 2 days down. Buyers stepped in on Friday here at the 9 EMA on this daily chart, but my dip buy zone is down here at $10.41 by $9.82. As far as targets go, I'm targeting 11 and a half to $11.80. Then above there, I would draw Fibonacci extensions of this recent move to get further upside targets. I would be targeting about 12 and a half, then 13, and finally just call it 14, 13.75 by 14 up there. So there are some targets to the upside on MP if I get a buy the dip opportunity here in this buy zone where I have a lower trendy weekly edge, the daily 21, and of course the inside and up candlestick structure here on UEC. Then another name in this area of the market is Newmont Mining. My buy the dip opportunity on Newmont would be down here near 72.44 by 70.91, targeting 76.78, 81.22, and 86.37. Last but not least, in the metals and mining sector is Freeport. Freeport, I'm looking for an opportunity. We created an inside and an up candle here. I also have a yearly mid edge at about 45.78. And then the bottom of this inside candlestick structure is 45.11. This would be an aggressive buy. I do like that the daily 9 EMA is lining up here at about 45.11. As far as an actual buy zone goes, though, a pullback to 43.76 by 42.74 would be my zone. This area up in here is just a watch and wait and see between 45.76 and 45.11, looking for the confirmation of higher lows inside of this area. If I get that, then I will take a trade targeting 47.5, 49.12, 50.21 by 53.16. Then let's talk about a couple of names in the airline sector that I like, starting with United Airlines. United, it has been relatively strong all year. We're above the upper yearly edge on United. It is showing strength as far as all of the airlines go. So, my buy zone on United is 102.50 by 97.52. As far as targets, 109.10 and then 116 on United Airlines. Then in the airline sector as well, I have Delta Airlines, a buy the dip opportunity here between 60.42 and 58.11, targeting 63.5 by $64 and then 66.82 and 69.98. Then I promised a few names that are outside of the outperforming sectors over the last 3 months and monthly look back. I'm going to start with Google. Google had a great week last week and created new all time highs. I am going to point out to you a buy the dip opportunity with confirmation here in this bull channel on Google. That would be 228.78 to 224.47. Now, in the event that I get a pullback in here and then looking at an hourly chart, we start making higher lows inside of this bull channel, I would take a trade and my stop would be a candle close below the 38.2. Now, if I take that trade inside the zone, my first target is going to be here at about 232.29. And then, of course, the all time high, 235.76. All right, that is a potential dip buy on Google using the bull channel coming up this week. Now, I would want to see just a quick pullback, the higher highs, and then Google to rip out of this bull's channel. If price continues to fall and we're not making higher highs, I will ignore this trade and wait for a pullback to the golden pocket, which is coming in at about 221 by 217, and then play it the same way back up to 232 and 235.76. Another name that had a great week on earnings was Broadcom. So let's take a look at Broadcom and talk about where price pulled back. So it made new all-time highs at 356.34, but there was a sell-off, profit taking, what have you, on Broadcom on Friday. Price pulled back almost to the tick to the golden pocket, what I trade as the golden pocket, which is a 50 fib to the 618. So I will be watching this area between 331 and 325 on AVGO. Again, waiting for the confirmation here in this buy zone as to whether or not I'm going to take a trade in this zone. If you want more information about how I determine whether or not I'm going to take the trade in a zone, please check out the video. I will link it at the end of this video, but it is talking about what kind of confirmation I'm waiting for to buy a dip in a buy zone. Again, I'll link that at the end of this video. But a pullback to 331 to 325 on AVGO with confirmation will be a buying opportunity. As far as targets go, I'm going to target the upper weekly edge here at 348 and a half, and then the all-time high 356.34. And then last but not least is Walmart. Walmart, I've played this both with equity and with options this year. It's done really well for me. I'm actually still in equity from about the $84 mark on Walmart. But if Walmart wants to continue this bullish run to the upside, I like this higher target up here near 105. This name is on my list because on the 4-hour chart, let me explain to you, this is an ACDC bull play. We trade this strategy in the trendy room. As price gets above these green arrows, we're looking to go long. And our target is the upper monthly edge here at 103.50. And then the top of that zone would be 106.33. So my buy zone is anywhere from about 100 to 98.90. My stop would be a candle close below 98.90. And then as far as targets go, I would target this area of resistance last week, Wednesday through Friday, at about 101, 101 and a half. But ultimately, I would be targeting 103.50 by 106.33. So, those are some names that I will be watching this week for swing trades. I will also be day trading both SPX as well as other names out of the pre market zone this week. So, be sure and check us out in the trendy room so that you can get the alerts, get the education of how Trendy John and I trade our money every single day. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And don't forget to check out that how to buy the dip with confirmation video that is linked here at the end of the video. Y'all have a great week of trading.